government. We know that it is possible for an organization or government to be corrupt, or for them to cook the books. We've had the Enrons, we've had the Oceanic banks, and many. We've had the Zimbabwe, Argentina, and so on and so forth. So the whole concept is you once talked about not knowing who you're dealing with. The blockchain code, Bitcoin code, is published. So it's not secret what the software is doing. Anybody can study it. And then once you're familiar with it, then you sort of join the network. So the opportunities are enormous. So Hernando de Soto from Peru made some major reforms, led some major reforms into registering businesses and land of farmers and families, which drove massive economic activity in Peru. The book he wrote is a masterclass called The Mystery of Capital. So in Africa, it's challenging for us to have capital injection because there is no transparency. There are no titles for land. There is no businesses. So the black market is huge. They're not registered. Definitely that shows that our traditional processes are not very convenient for a lot of these traders and businesses, farmers and so on. So blockchain brings a new set of opportunities to bring the informal sector into the formal sector.
In the Nigerian context, how do you think we should proceed from this revolution that is now at our doorstep? We have this baby at our doorstep, so we need to take care of it. Should we leave it outside the doorstep, or we should bring it in? And if we bring it in, what are we scared of? Whether this baby will become either a monster or benefit.
The blockchain is the technology that sits behind the cryptocurrencies. Now, BAM, which is my organization, we actually focus on the technology, not the cryptocurrencies. So we actually don't do anything to do with trading and selling of cryptocurrencies. And that is the one mistake that most people make in this country when we're talking about the blockchain. Because the moment you hear the word blockchain, people associate it to cryptocurrencies. But whereas we are dealing with the technology and the use cases.
I'm going to cut in there respectfully. So if you do asset management, blockchain
yes.
asset management.
Yes.
The word asset management on Broad Street.
Yes.
Sounds like.
It sounds like it's financial. But the bottom line is everything we deal with is an asset. When you actually think of it, data is an asset. So I don't have a financial background. I actually have a technology background. I've worked in technology for 30 years. I'm an infrastructure architect. So I understand how to use technology to solve business-related problems. And that is what we're doing with the blockchain. And that's the one thing that makes us unique as an organization. So what we have done is we have taken the informal side of the blockchain and turned it into a formal aspect. So to talk a little bit about the blockchain, you have two different types of blockchains. You have the permission blockchains and the permissionless blockchains. So when you're talking about the cryptocurrencies, we're talking about the permissionless blockchains. So this means that anybody and everybody has access to these blockchains. But we are focusing more on the permissioned blockchains within the formal structure. So BAM, Blockchain Asset Management, is the foremost, we're the only company who is registered as an Oracle blockchain partner in the whole of Africa. So we see there's an enormous opportunity that everybody is letting go by right now because we're focused on the cryptocurrencies and the regulation around the cryptocurrencies.
Okay, I hope you've learned a few lessons together with me. I went to class for some lessons about cryptocurrencies and blockchain, and I'm a lot more better informed. Let's come back to you after the break. You're watching Business Morning. got a few pieces of news for you. Nigeria's manufacturing data for the month of January, also called a PMI, stumbled, according to the report this morning from FBN Quest, and that was a significant one as far as that independent data. 54.6 reading for the month we just put behind us in the new year, against 68.5 in the month of December. The data from the Central Bank of Nigeria showed a bit stumble as well, but not as hard as FBN Quest had it. That was 57.3 from 59.3 in December. So that was the issue, the part of the news this morning. And Nigeria is getting, the authorities will be considering the decision by the U.S. FOMC, that's the Federal Open Market Committee, to leave interest rate unchanged at about 1.25% yesterday. That will provide some of the input into the expected Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria that we expect to take place this month, as soon as the political brickbat between the executive and the legislature concluded over new members to be appointed into the to be cleared for the MPC committee. Meantime, the Nigerians are now in bed with Niger Republic, well, at least going by yesterday's visit to Niamey, Niger's capital, by Nigeria's Deputy Oil Minister, Dr. Pt.2, where he says a refinery will be built in a border town between the Republic of Niger and Katsina State in northern Nigeria. He says that a crude oil pipeline will also be constructed, of course, to supply the refinery with crude from Niger. That's the news. And the Dr. Kachiko says the technical and bilateral and technical agreement to cement this relationship will be signed in the coming days. Niger is Nigeria's strategic partner in the war against Boko Haram terror in the entire hundreds and hundreds of kilometers of that borderline between Nigeria's extreme northeast to the extreme northwest. And Nigeria also has a trade and cultural relationship with Niger dating hundreds and hundreds of years. Meantime, Niger began producing crude oil in 2011, so it's one of the very small oil producers on the African continent, the club of African oil producers, really. But it's sitting strategically at the northern part of Nigeria. So that places Niger a strategic partner for Nigeria in any of the relationship it wants to have with the oil and gas. The next is, of course, the Chad. The Chadians also bring a bit of that to our table. But Niger is one of the countries alleged to be the destination for smuggled, refined petrol and imports from Nigeria, and that's one issue that is hanging there. So that's just about all we've got time for today. You want to watch the markets? Tomorrow is the final trading day. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yes, the final trading day for this week. I get this. Sometimes it's confused when you have a week straddling 2 months altogether. I feel like a brand new month, and it feels like a Monday. But tomorrow is a Friday, so I'm looking forward to it. 24 hours. I'll be right back here for you. Do have a great day, everyone. And news is coming right next here on Channels Television, Nigeria's News Lead.